All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I've got a list of books I'm going to tell you about, maybe help inspire some adventure or, going into wild places. So it's a little windy, so bear with me. I've got these books divided into two categories. One category is about just kind of westward expansion early in the history of the U.S. Then the other category would be kind of like some kind of high seas adventures and polar exploration. So first book would be good old fashioned Undaunted Courage. This is a story about the journey of Lewis and Clark across the country. What the country looked like, 300 years ago, and how they're just kind of an elk and, buffalo and critters running around everywhere. Meriwether Lewis walked a lot of the journey beside the boat, at least in the first part. Would walk like 20 miles a day and just kind of just take it all in, which is pretty spectacular. And those guys overcame like incredible hardship. They would like lose boats with like every single thing in it, would go to the bottom of a river. Kind of a dense book, right? So they get into all the little nuances of the politics and the lifestyle, and really go into detail about the individuals on the journey. So second book, The Revenant. Great book. You probably saw the movie with what's his name, Leonardo DiCaprio in it. The book's way better. It's about a guy named Hugh Glass, gets attacked by a bear, and he's just overcoming all kinds of hardship, and it's a pretty spectacular book. The Revenant's a pretty easy read too, which is nice. Next one, Empire of the Summer Moon. This is about the Comanche tribes down in Texas, and it's westward expansion book too, and ultimately about the annihilation of the Comanche tribe. But they just talk a lot about how the skilled the Comanche tribes were riding horses. I mean, a horse is like an extension of their bodies. It's just absolutely unbelievable. To talk about repeating revolver handguns in technology kind of changed the world essentially. So Empire of the Summer Moon's a great read. It's pretty violent, just know that going in. I mean, it's historical descriptions of crazy stuff going down, but man, is it violent. So last one in this little category, I'll say, and this one's probably one of my favorite, is Astoria. This is a great book, man. I really enjoyed that book. It's about John Jacob Astor. He was a businessman, and he sent this overland party to the Pacific Ocean, and he actually sent a boat there to meet him. And this was pre Lewis and Clark going across the country, and I mean, it's just unbelievable what those guys did and went through. Some real amazing characters are in that book. I think maybe Hugh Glass is in that book too, or at least some of their friends. Some of the same guys were in several of those books. Interestingly, that book, my wife and I were doing a float down the main Salmon River years ago. I think in like 2017. It was just us on a raft, and this we were camped out on a beach, and this couple came down, and they were staying at some ranch out there, and they were kind of like amazed that we were doing this trip on a boat by ourselves. And the guy told me about that book, Astoria. I like to think that maybe we reminded him of the spirit of those explorers as we were going down the river. So moving on, so here's some books on some kind of high seas adventures, polar exploration, things along those lines. This one for Christmas, my wife got me this, In the Heart of the Sea, and this is about some whalers out of Nantucket that were shipwrecked and had to make their way back home. Pretty incredible book. Whaling was like just an unbelievable endeavor. Not only were you kind of exploring the high seas and out in the middle of the ocean, but you were what they call a Nantucket sleigh ride, where you like harpoon a whale, and then it swims at 40 miles an hour and drags you behind a boat. So great book, In the Heart of the Sea. Another one is The Wager. This is a pretty new book, and this is about a shipwreck that happened. What's the name of the boat? Oh, the Wager's the name of the boat, duh. A pretty incredible story. You know, there's some mutiny involved, and there's some mutiny involved, you know, so that always spices up a shipwreck. And you know, again, just an incredible story. All right, here's another one. So, Madhouse at the End of the Earth. So this is about a boat that went down to Antarctica, and these guys, they were in the Belgian Navy, and I didn't know anything about the Belgian Navy, but apparently it's a very small Navy. They have a very small coastline, and so you know, it was almost kind of a shock and a surprise that they would send an expedition out. Of course, they had to deal with all kinds of obstacles and overcome things. There's some cool pictures in it and drawings like this. Like that's a picture of the ship like stuck in the ice, right? Which is just unbelievable. Okay, and the last one I'll recommend, and again, this is one of my favorites, Good Old Endurance. And that's about Ernest Shackleton's voyage down to Antarctica. You know, man, written by a guy named Alfred Lansing. This is a great book. It's a pretty easy read too, but all the little details are in there, and I mean, it's just unbelievable what these guys did. You know, they were going for something like 2 years, and I won't tell you all the details, but essentially they, you know, were able to escape Antarctica in like, you know, 2 20-foot boats, right? Which is like crazy. They went across this area called the Drake Passage, which is in between Antarctica and South America. And, you know, the seas are like 50 feet there. I mean, it's just incredible that these guys made it through it. So Endurance is a great book. You know, you won't be able to put it down. So I hope this is helpful. Maybe read some of these books. Maybe it inspires you to get outdoors. You know, if you're a little bit nervous about going outside or trying something new outdoors, you know, you can read one of these books and think, well, you know, these guys got through some stuff, so the likelihood that I'll get through it is, you know, fairly good. So thanks for watching, folks. Like and subscribe if you like this video. If this is the first video you've seen of mine, feel free to look at some of the other videos when I'm actually like doing things outdoors. So take care.